Hello, my name's Rob Edwards. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we're having another bit of role-playing session. I'm very excited by this. We're here for a very particular reason. We're taking a trip back in time, down nostalgia lane to the early 80s, and we are going to be playing Advanced Dungeons & Dragons, first edition Advanced Dungeons & Dragons, no less, and specifically we're going to be playing the very first DragonLance module, Dragons of Despair. And the reason that we're doing that today is it's going to be part of a Dragonlance week, which is being hosted by Jodie. So, Jodie, can I turn to you, and perhaps you'd like to introduce yourself to my audience and explain a little bit about why Dragonlance week?
Well, hi, I'm Jodie. I run the Witty and Sarcastic book club blog over on WordPress, and I reread Dragonlance every year. The Legends and the Chronicles every year, and I have since a very long time. And this year I was lucky enough to be able to reread it, or for the first time with a group of other people, and I just had so much fun. And with just the fun we've had of it and geeking out over it, combined with the facts coming out, I believe next year, I just figured this was a really, really good time to just kind of group geek out over it. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have character profiles, I think, pieces, an interview with Author Margaret Weiss, as well as a giveaway, all in the second week of April. And so this just got to be a wonderful, wonderful part of it.
Excellent. Thank you for that. No, I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be great. Okay, thank you, Jodie. We should introduce our other players, though. Let's go in the order that I've got them on my screen. So top left is Mark. Would you like to introduce yourself and say a little bit about your relationship with Dragonlance, maybe?
Okay, well, my name is Mark, otherwise known as Fantasy Book Nerd. I have a website somewhere. I'm not quite sure where it is in cyberspace, but it's somewhere hanging around. So, obviously, one of the things is that, as Jodie mentioned, we've recently been reading the original Dragonlance Chronicles, and it's been so much fun. And as this Dragonlance week's coming along, I thought I'd get involved.
Fantastic stuff. Thanks, Mark. Top left, Sue. I think I've got that wrong way around. I've just embarrassed myself with not telling my left and right. But Sue, would you like to introduce yourself?
Oh, I'm Sue, and I had never heard of Dragonlance before this year.
Well, that's fantastic.
I'm a total newbie, and Jodie and Mark persuaded me to join the read-along, which I've been thoroughly enjoying. So this is all new.
Good stuff. And you're not a D&D player either, I gather.
No, we just started that in our house. We bought the beginner set, and my daughter, who's nearly 16, she's playing the Dungeon Master.
Okay.
Apparently, she's been watching podcasts about D&D. So
there are a lot of them around now, yeah.
Maybe she watches yours, I don't know.
I haven't done enough to actually have a following yet, but maybe she'll enjoy this one. Watching her mum playing D&D, that could be quite fun.
I should think she'll...
possibly not, actually. Brilliant. Thank you very much. And last but not least, Tabitha, would you like to introduce yourself to the video, please?
Behind the Pages book blog. I have been a Dragonlance fan for many, many years. I discovered the first Chronicles in about 2000, I want to say, and I was hooked from there. And when I found out that Jodie was hosting a Dragonlance week, I was like, I totally need to be a part of this.
Fantastic. Great. Well, here we are then. So as I said, we're going to be playing Dragons of Despair, which is the first module of the Dragonlance campaign. We are playing the very original version of it. It's been kind of reimagined and republished for various different versions of Dungeons and Dragons, and it wouldn't surprise me if we see another version for 5th edition coming out in the next year or so. But we are going right back to the very first edition with some truly awful maps, which I'll be showing to people later on, and everyone's going to squint at and not be able to make out anything of them. But it is written by Tracy Hickman. The writing credit for this module is Tracy Hickman. Of course, is one of the two authors of the Dragonlance original trilogy, certainly. Anyway, So very authentic, very true to the books. If you are fans of the books, and if you have read the books recently in particular, I expect quite a lot of the things that we are going to do today should be quite familiar to you. Today we have got playing Flint Fireforge is Mark. Ready to get your short beard action on, I hope.
Yes, rather short this time, unfortunately.
Sue, I believe you're playing. Oh, now this is a fun one. I've been listening to the audiobook for Dragons of Autumn Twilight, and I would say that you're going to be playing Caramon this time, but the audio narrator absolutely insists that it's Caramon. And he just throws away the last syllable. So whichever one you want to use is fine, but I will be saying Caramon because 25 years is too long a time to change that habit just now. Tabitha, you're playing Taz, Tasselhoff Burfoot Arkender. That's right, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And Jodie we've briefly talked about dressing up, but we decided that we hadn't got anything for Jodie to make herself look very much like Tanis Half-Elven. So that's
You just a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So shall we crack on? Shall we get on to the game itself? Okay. The air surges fierce and sweet, carrying the clear musk smell of the woodlands. The soft murmur of stirring leaves, of insects and of small animals fills the landscape. The clear highland sky blushes with the end of day and fades into starry sleep. This is home. From this rock outcropping, the valley below seems peaceful, untouched. Dense forests of pine carpet the mountainsides, varied only by thick aspen woods. The mountains, deep blue in the distance, circle the valley and form a soft highland bowl. It is a wonder that any beautiful places are left in the world. Before the cataclysm, the days were calm and ordered, nothing was unexpected. Now the world is changed. Its change has taught two great lessons. First, no beauty, not even that in this valley, is safe. All the riches of the past could not protect the ancient peoples. Gold has no value in the world now. It is too soft for swords or armor. Steel is the most valued metal of all. Secondly, no magic lasts forever. True clerics cannot be found, nor have clerics with miraculous powers been known to exist since the time of the cataclysm, nearly 300 years ago. 5 years since you and your friends parted to search for a true cleric. Tonight, at the appointed hour, you've met on the road to solace, and you report what you have found. So, if we go by the books, Flint is the first to arrive, I believe. Sat on this rock outcropping, looking down at Solace, whittling away with his knife on a piece of wood, I think.
That's right, yeah.
Yes. And we'll shortly be joined by Tanis. So Tanis, you can join and say hello if you like.
I recognize you. It's been a long time. 5 years.
5 years, aye, Tanis. Don't know what I'm doing, but I've got my wood. So, how's things been?
Well, it's been interesting. I've traveled from Qualinesti and the Careless Mountains, the Forest Command, all over the place, all the way to the sea, and found no trace. It was unpleasant. I don't like it there.
No, for elves.
But they weren't a fan of the beard either.
I think I know how to feel at The
awkwardness is interrupted by the sound of of a hoopak, I suspect, twirling and making its distinctive whining sound as Tazlar Burfoot arrives on the scene.
Bless him.
Dennis! You'll never believe the things I have seen.
Yeah, we've all heard stories.
Everybody look, make sure you still got your money.
Remember, Tannis, keep your pouches close and your pockets tight.
Hey!
I've got the height going for me. He's gonna go after you first anyway. He's your pocket.
And the son, and there's this.
Going for the low-hanging fruit first, okay. Fantastic. So the three of you have gathered on the roads to Solace. It is probably the sound of coughing that draws your attention first, as two more people break from the underbrush. It is Caramon and his twin brother. I suspect first glance at the twin brother Racelyn will take you all aback slightly. He was never what you would call a broad-shouldered, strapping youth, but he seems somehow reduced than when you last saw him. His skin has turned a strange golden hue, and there is something very wrong with his eyes. He keeps himself hidden in deep red robes and keeps himself to himself for the most part because he's not being played as a player character, but he will interject occasionally to cough at you, I expect.
Hello.
Well met.
I have been traveling with my brother to the Towers of Sorcery. We are returned and glad to see you all again.
Very glad.
You're just saying that, Red.
What happened to you, Racelyn?
You're not looking too good.
A story for another time, perhaps. Tell me, has anyone found news of true clerics within Kryn?
No. I've been whittling away at this wood for the last half hour, so I think I've had time for clerics.
Hey, clerics, made some new maps if you all want to see.
Maps. Every time maps.
But they're really detailed.
Yes, that's what you said the last time. And we ended up, I don't know where, but there was boats, and you know what happens then.
Racelyn knows himself to sit on a rock.
Nothing good.
Racelyn, are you okay? I'm very worried about you.
It is fine, but perhaps we should get into town. Get under cover. The roads are more dangerous than when we left this place.
Cheery, cheery, cheery.
So you can turn your footsteps towards Solace. The half of the inn of the last home is waiting to greet you there, and you begin walking down into town. It is a strange sense of coming home. You have been amongst you across the wide extents of Kryn over the last 5 years, searching all corners for any kind of sign of true clerical magic, of the gods of good, and well, I mean, hopefully the gods are good, but you know, right now you'll accept just about any of the old gods to try and work out what's going on. Rumour has reached you that Solace has its own seekers of clerics. They call themselves the Seekers, but they are looking for a god, not looking for clerics. But you're still a little ways from town when there is yet more rustling from the bushes, and maybe you look up to see if it's Sturm or Kitiara come to join you on the road. But unfortunately, it suddenly seems that what you're actually finding, we'll get to some action, what we actually see instead, dark shapes scurry from the woods on both sides of the road. Their yellow-green skin pales against their heavy black armour. Their twisted faces glare from the evening darkness. They crouch in a large circle about you, well beyond sword range. A stout pony struggles up onto the road, sagging beneath a flabby figure, much the same although larger than those who surround you. The pony rider suddenly turns his head towards you and yells, "Our next demand is a blue crystal staff. Forfeit the staff now or die." Any reaction from anybody? These things are hobgoblins. There's a whole load of them that have surrounded you. They are amongst the monstrous races of Kryn, but they are intelligent people. So you will meet them from time to time, but they're not nice people. Most of them are going for their weapons.
Who's taking the first one, Tanis? I think it should be Caraman.
Okay. I'm going to take out my long sword, ready.
Destroy them!
Yeah, let's pull our swords out, shall we?
Destroy them and bring the staff to me, says Viewmaster Toad. And then he turns his pony and rides off into the forest, leaving you alone with his hobgoblin warriors. So I think we should have a bit of a combat at this point. So,
Okay.
alrighty, this is where we go into our various different dice rolls and stuff. First thing, for those of you, anyone who's played more recent editions of Dungeons and Dragons, you may be surprised to learn that we do initiative by rolling a d6, one for each side of the party. Tanis, as sort of notional leader, could you roll me a d6, please,
Okay,
for your side, and I will roll a d6 for the hobgoblins. Oh no, the hobgoblins have got the initiative this round. They are going to make an attack at you. Okay, so there are more hobgoblins in this fight than we're going to worry about. Racelin's going to go off and deal with some himself. So I'm just going to worry about 6 of the 10 hobgoblins that are fighting against you 4. So they will come charging towards you with their long swords in their hand. They're not as good quality as Caramon's longsword, I should say, but they still look sharp and dangerous. So they are rushing in, and I'm going to attack. Well, one on each of you, and I think probably who gets the extra ones. I think Caramon looks dangerous, and Tanis look dangerous. Oh, mind you, you are a dwarf. No,
That's right.
Yeah, no, all right, okay. It's going to two on Flint, 2 on Caramon, and 1 each on Taz and Tanis. There we go. So we are going to copy my attack roll because I'm going to have to do this so many times. It's ridiculous. So 2 attacking on to Flint. The first one hits armor class 10, which is a complete miss. So he lunges towards you, sword swings down, but he's clearly been over-eager. He hasn't actually entirely got into range of you by the time he's swung his sword. So you don't really even have to sway to avoid that blow. The sword just sort of comes in front of you, and you can quite merrily ignore that. Oh, blimey. The second one, though, is a mighty hit. Your armor class is about 5, I think. Is that right?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. So that is absolutely a hit. His sword bites deep, doing you 6 points of damage.
Ooh.
Ow.
Fortunately, the campaign doesn't start us at first level. 6 points of damage would kill a lot of characters at first level. It would do pretty well towards killing Racelyn, but we'll not worry about that too much. Two attacks at...
Okay, it's just Racelyn.
It's just he's not important to the story at all. Another 2 lunging, double teaming against Caramon. Sword swinging. Oh, that is also a hit.
Nice.
5 damage, Caramon, from that first hit.
5.
Yep. And the second one swings as well. What is your armor class, Caramon? Your AC.
6.
Sorry, it's how much?
It's 6.
6. Okay. That is also a hit then, I'm afraid.
Okay. So I have to attack that.
Oh, mind you, it's only 1 damage, so it's not the end of the world. So it's a mighty assault is attacking in the first place. Let's have a look at attacking Tasselhoff next. Wow, these guys are very, very good. These are clearly elite hobgoblins. Another 5. They only seem to roll 5s on their damage. There must be some weirdness about the dice roller. Another 5 damage to Taz, and we've got 1 more left to go. But that is a miss. So that is the first assault. They've leapt towards you, swords going, but now it's your turn. So, on your character sheets, you should have a thing which says !roll, a number minus 1d20, and that's what you need to roll to try and hit them. So you can go in whatever order you like here. It's entirely up to you. If you want someone to go first. Otherwise, I'll pick Mark.
Okie dokie.
Flint.
Got my hand axe, and I smack towards the first one.
Alrighty.
Aiming for his head.
Okie dokie.
And he gets a massive 9.
No, that is not going to hit, I'm afraid. So you're clearly the 2 hobgoblins are upon you, and you're doing your best to sort of beat them back with your hand axe, but your blows are just not connecting. So we'll move on. Caramon. So yours is !roll. I think it's 13 minus 1d20 on your character sheet. I think I wrote.
Yeah, 7.
7. That is also not. Oh, blimey, this is going badly. That is also not a hit. Wow, I'm going to kill the champions of Kryn, courtesy of 6 hobgoblins on the road into Solace. We might have to start the recording again. No.
We're just moving on to Grimdark. It's okay. It's a fun genre.
Okay, that's not a hit, I'm afraid, Caramon. Taz, you have your hoopak.
It's swinging. Let's see if I get something.
Alrighty. Okay, so that is you rolled a 6. Yeah, that's not a hit either. Okay.
Oh no!
Let's get him!
I'm feeling guilt now. I'm feeling guilt. Come on, Tanis.
Bravely run away.
Tanis, now is your moment.
I'm gonna see if we can do like a stabby action thing going on.
Oh, crikey! That is actually a hit.
Let's see.
That is actually a hit. You have connected. You have connected. The first of the champions to strike a blow is, of course, the leader, Tanis Half-Elven. So now you need to roll me some damage, please, Jody.
Which is the 1d8 plus 3?
Yep, that's right.
Okay. Let's see.
Crikey. And I don't use words like that lightly, you understand? That's that kind of strong language only comes out in moments of extreme whatever. Yeah, no, absolutely. Would you like to describe, in as family-friendly way as possible, the manner of your slaughtering of this hobgoblin?
Gruesome. Let's go for a stomach stab.
Oh,
Why not? We'll just
that's
jam it up in there.
All right, yeah, we jam the soup. Right. Okay, good.
I promise I'm not going to be a violent person in real life.
I mean, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. This is Dungeons and Dragons. This kind of happens. Okay, so that was. Meanwhile, Raistlin is battling with his quarterstaff against some people over there in the corner. He's only got like 2 spells because he is low level, so I'm not sure he's going to waste them on hobgoblins. But his magic staff's quite cool. There's a bop people on the head with it. All of the hobgoblins are sort of looking at the staff, going, "Does that look like blue crystal to you? I don't think it's got a crystal on the top. Is that the one they're looking for?" He's got a staff. He must be important. Okay. So new round. We change initiative every round in first edition, so we need to roll initiative again. So I think we'll have Tanis roll again, please. 1d6. Oh, the heroes are going first this time round. There we go. We're time to press it. Encouraged by Tanis's mighty blow against the hobgoblin, we press the attack. Flint, do you want to insert hand axe into hobgoblin A?
I will try. Okie dokie. So I get my hand axe again, do a feint, and try to come round.
What's your Thaco?
Right off. 16.
Oh, that's definitely a hit then. Yes, you've hit armor class 3. You have buried your hand axe into the hobgoblin. Roll me some damage, please.
So it's 8, and let's see if there's a damage thing here. Plus 1 damage, so that's 9 damage.
Is it 2d6?
1d. Oh no, it's 1d6 plus 2. Sorry, I read that wrong. Let me just do that again. We're just having a little bit of a.
Yeah, no problem. We're all learning. It'll get quicker as we play a bit more.
Oh, and that's a 6.
Oh, it's a 6, is it? Okay, brilliant. Again, a mighty blow. Do you want to? How have you dispatched your hobgoblin?
I cleave through his shoulder into his chest and pull my axe out.
Oh, crikey! Again, it's that kind of day. This isn't really about what we're. One of the weird things about modules for first edition D&D back in the day is that it would list the hit points for all of the bad guys. They wouldn't all have like 8 hit points or 13 hit, but it wouldn't be the same for everybody. So fighting these bad guys, we've got people with hit points of 7 and 5, and purely randomly, the one that you were attacking had 2 hit points. So your hand axe very much enjoying a bit of overkill there. Good. Fantastic. Caramon, there's still 2 fighting you. There's down to just 1 on Flint. Can you even the numbers on your side as well? Good Lord. Yes, you absolutely can. You hit armor class -5. Which is probably, I think, a higher armor class than the dragon has at the end of the module. So yes, absolutely. It is a moment of consummate swordsmanship. Basically, this thing thinks you're going one way, but you just turn and undercut his blow, and you evade his parry with ease. How much damage have you done with your mighty sword blow?
You type in the +3 at the end, or no?
Yes, you can. It'll include that. Five damage. You are fighting that one. Yep. That one's gone down as well.
Hey, I spun my sword around my head and cut off his head.
Nice. That's the classic.
Nice.
That's the classic barbarian move. That is fantastic. Good stuff. Oh yeah, the numbers are looking a lot better now. It has to be said. Taz, you are fighting. You're fighting that one. That's unfortunate. Would you like to try and would you like to try and scratch your one?
But I can do this time.
That, I'm afraid, Taz, you're more of a thief than a warrior, and I think we've just proved it with that roll. You've hit armor class 16, which is about as on the opposite end of the scale to Caramon's mighty blow that we just saw. Essentially, you're doing that. Taz is probably doing that thing that when you first start playing with swords as a kid. You forget that you're supposed to, if you were really fighting, you'd be attacking the person. You're very much attacking his sword. And, it's great as far as it goes. That sword is very much taking some abuse there from your Hoopak. But it's not really advancing the cause of defeating the hobgoblins very much. Tanis, you slew your opponent last time. Do you want to go and help Flint? Taz or Caramon?
I'm torn between, helping and just kind of sitting down and waiting it out. Maybe I'll go help Taz a little. He looks a little confused.
Okay. So you've got two choices here. Of course, you could just stand and shoot an arrow if you wanted to, but or you can run over and hit them with your sword. Your choice. Which would you prefer to do?
Well, my sword's already out, so I'll vamos.
That's just efficient. Yes, absolutely. Okay. So you charge towards Tasselhoff's duel, for want of a better word, and let's see if you can hit.
Let's see, that's the 14 minus 1d20?
Yes. Yes, a mighty blow.
Oh, well, alrighty then.
So roll some damage for me, please. This thing clearly not expecting the attack from behind. It thought it knew what it was fighting. It thought it had all its attention on the Kender, and good lord, all its attention on the Kender, and that, my friends, that was its downfall. Because yes, you basically rush up behind it, one swing of the sword, and the number of hobgoblins in the theatre of battle is reduced by one again. So we've just.
It was all the taunting. It was the taunting.
Yeah. It was.
Tasselhoff was just ticking him off too much.
I whittled them down for you.
Yeah. It's actually.
Hey.
It is worth saying. It's not on your character. I should have put this out. There is a game rule to simulate Kender taunting. So if you ever feel the urge to taunt some bad guys, there is a rule for that. So let me know.
Good to know.
Okay. So there are two surviving hobgoblins. They both sort of look at each other as though to say, the numbers are not looking like we thought they were, And there is a brief sort of exchange there that they are definitely considering making a run for it. And then they hear off in the distance the clattering of pony hooves and Toad going, "Remember to bring me the staff, or your heads will be on plates." So the hobgoblins press the attack, much to their dismay. So, Flint, you're a hobgoblin.
Okie dokie.
Hits. Oh no, he does not. He does not hit. That's very much the opposite of what he does. His heart clearly isn't really in it. He sort of. Oh God, I mean, if anyone asks, it looks like I was trying to attack, but more sort of not, to be honest. But attacking Caramon, the one attacking Caramon, seems to think his buddy is onto something here with this strategy, and is clearly hoping that that someone will be able to get the staff off of Racelyn, even though it's not the right staff, and he won't have to actually hit anybody. So round 3 of the combat. Back to rolling initiative again. Let's see who gets it this time. Tanis, if you want to roll for me again, please. Oh no, these two hobgoblins. They're both eager and not at the same time. They're very conflicted hobgoblins. They're both hob and goblins. So one goes, well, if I'm going to have to go down, I might as well try and hit the dwarf. But you know, I don't have to go. I mean, I could just hit his shield instead. That would be fine. And attacking... dear, oh dear. Basically, they had all of their good rolls in the first round. After that, they could do nothing. Basically, so they had the element of surprise briefly, but once the heroes of Kryn were able to gather their wits around them and fight back. So there are 2 hobgoblins left, one on Flint, one on Caramon. Flint, your turn.
Okay, so I turn to my hobgoblin and laugh at him and just point at him and goes, "Your master says that it's a head on plates. Let's see if we can make that a reality."
No. Oh, actually, no. Sorry. You're not doing the Thaco minus, are you? No, that will be a hit. That will be a hit. Yes, that is a hit. Roll me some damage, please.
Six.
Okay, 6. Yeah, not a problem. Not a problem. Leaving one poor hobgoblin left, who's kind of standing there going, as the 3 other player characters converge on him, basically. I think we should give Caramon the chance though to get the final blow in. So roll me an attack roll, Caramon.
Okay. 12.
I mean, that's a natural 1. Basically, that's about as bad an attack roll as you can get. Never mind, you have two buddies, hopefully coming to help. I'm making assumptions there. I should probably not. As games master, it should be my job to narrate the action, not dictate it. So, Taz, what would you like to do?
Help, since I did such a great job with mine. You know, Tanis just helped finish it off.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes. There we go. Now, are you you're hitting with? You're actually going up and hitting, are you, rather than sling stoning it? I think the hoophack's such a brilliant weapon. There's one of the things I love about DragonLance, just while we're talking about how cool DragonLance is, there are lots of really interesting, just sort of tweaks of world building, just here or there. There wasn't any need to give Kenders a unique weapon thing. But they did. I just like that. I just like the fact that Kenders have this weird sling staff thing, which is just that does whistling noises when you spin it. It's brilliant. Anyway, that's a hit. Do you want to roll me some damage? Okay. I haven't given you a chance yet. Would you like to describe the manner of you dispatching the final hobgoblin? As Tasselhoff gets a hero moment at the end of the fight?
I'll crack him upside the head with the hoopak.
Just
Kender rage!
Just classic and simple and straightforward. Yeah, I like it. Okay, fantastic. Good. So, your enemies have fallen around you. Of the leader of the hobgoblins, Viewmaster Toad, there is no sight at all. He has long since vanished. But your foes lie defeated. It's strange to see such creatures so close to Solace. Raistlin coughs. I'm just adding a bit of flavour text. So, what do you want to do?
I turn to Tannis and go, hobgoblins? Where do they come from? I haven't seen hobgoblins around.
I don't know, but I'm not happy about it.
Good shot there, Tannis.
I think we should head somewhere where my
Didn't hear
brother
that last bit.
down. My brother needs refreshment.
Oh, he always needs refreshment. We need refreshment till the middle of next September.
I think
So you think Solace has all of these in it?
Caramon may be involved in a certain kind of magic called projection. There.
He just wants those spiced potatoes.
You mentioned spiced potatoes. Now that's got me going. I can do that.
You continue on into Solace. A warm autumn breeze rustles the great Valenwood trees of Solace. The road that wanders through the trees blazes in the bright colours of autumn. The richly stained buildings of Solace rest cradled overhead in the boughs of the trees. For those people who are watching who've not really read much Dragonlance, Solace is, you guys probably know, but Solace is a smallish town. It is probably only about 500 people strong, with sort of outlying farms covering another sort of 200 people. So it's not a huge sprawling city by any means. And long ago, they moved to building their buildings up in the branches of these vast trees, the Valenwoods. In fact, I think there are like 3 or 4 buildings down at ground level, one of which is the smithy. But it's late enough in the day now that that's closed up. You can probably still see a glow from the fires of the forge within there, but there's no sound of ringing metal as people would be working in there. It is probably just cooling down and going for the night. The Inn of the Last Home is, of course, the sort of main attraction in Solace, I guess. Flint actually, of course, has his own house here, I believe, because he runs a business out of Solace. Although hasn't actually been here for 5 years, so I'm not quite sure how well that's going. But he would have his own home. So, do you want to go to the inn? Do you want to go to Flint's place? What do you want to do?
Where are we going, Tannis?
No, I say the inn. They would have less spiders than your
That's true.
old house.
Inn sounds good to me. I don't want to go anywhere where there's horses. You know what happens when I get near horses. And if we're going into an inn, Tannis, we don't need any of your shenanigans. Remember, property is their property, not yours.
The Inn of the Last Home rests cradled high in the boughs of the Valenwood tree, as do all the buildings here, for Solace is a treetop town. Warm laughter tumbles from the inn. The worn steps wind around the heavy trunk, up to the familiar carved door. Racelyn is, of course, falling a bit behind. He used to scamper up these steps like any of you, but it seems whatever trials he underwent at the Towers of High Sorcery have left his body broken, and he has to pause several times coming up the steps to the inn.
Oh, but I can help him.
Yeah.
I'll carry him.
He will accept your help, but if you try and carry him, I think he will probably he'll probably try and bat you away with a rather feeble.
I'll leave the mage.
The inn of the last home never changes. The polished wooden bar weaves around the several living branches. An old man tells stories in the corner and delights the crowd gathered about him. The delicate windows of stained glass behind the bar are being polished by Otik Sandath, the barkeeper. He turns and waves, looking startled to see you, motions the barmaid in your direction. The low murmur of voices fills the inn. Otik turns thoughtfully to polish the glasses. At a far table, near the storyteller, a man and a woman sit together and speak quietly. Another man stands by the now silent storyteller, while a small boy stares thoughtfully into the fire. The barmaid steps toward you, smiles, and shows you to a table. Something about her seems familiar. The hair? The intelligent glint of her eyes? Could this be Tika, the little girl who swept the tavern floors a short 5 years ago? The inn never changes, but the people surely do. Well, you're a sight for sore eyes and no mistake. Please, take a seat. Can I get you food, drink, just food? Use at home?
I need me a plate of them spiced potatoes and a decent ale. Not none of that watered down rubbish that you give me. I want the proper stuff, please.
Of course. Coming right up. Anything else for people? She
I'll take some ale.
She casts a quick glance at Caramon. I don't know why I say that specifically, but she does. So she
I think we could all use some spiced potatoes.
Yes.
Definitely. I could really use some spiced potatoes myself now.
Yes, I'm suddenly hungry. It is quite late though. Okay, so she wanders off, and shortly brings back food and drink for people. She's also on her tray got a small scroll, which she says, I thought it quite crazy, but this fellow delivered this message just the other day for you, Tanis. I told him that we hadn't seen you around these parts for 5 years or more, but he was adamant that you would be here, and he said that I should give it to you when you made your appearance. And so he sort of sets down the scroll with your ale and your spiced potatoes, and flashes a smile at you all, and then gets back to the business of the bar.
Does anyone else think the scroll just showing up is a little bit creepy? It's a little creepy. They're like, we're going to be back as your comings and goings for 5 years. It's a little creepy, right?
Well, after today...
I mean, if you don't want to open it, I can.
You open it. You go for it.
Okay.
Alright, let's open it.
There is just a message written in common, written upon it. I will post the message into chat, which, Taz, if you want to share with the group, you can. I mean, obviously the group can see it in chat, but Taz, for role-playing purposes, if you want to share what it says to the group, then please do.
Okay. Dearest Tanis, I hope this letter finds you well. I am sorry that I could not fulfill the oath we all swore 5 years ago, join you and the others tonight at the inn. My duties with my new lord keep me busy. My regrets and best wishes to the others, and my love to my half-brothers and to you, Tanis. Yours, Kitiara. P.S. A word to the wise. Rumor has reached me that war stirs in the north. Solace will not be safe for long. Do not stay there. Leave town. Head west or south, and do not tarry.
It makes the potatoes taste a little less nice, I suspect.
Not putting me off my spiced potatoes.
You are sat in the inn of the last home. Do you know, there's one of those names. I know it, but every time I sit down, every time I start to say it, I'm about to find myself saying Rivendell words. You're the inn of the last home. Good. You are in the inn of the last home, and you're enjoying your spiced potatoes and your drink. It's entirely up to you what you want to do now. There are people in the inn to talk to if you want to talk to them. If you just want to get to your beds for the night, that's perfectly fine as well. There is no particular. If you're expecting sudden people to be burning their hands in the fireplace or anything like that, the module doesn't have that in it. Right now there is. I've got nothing to present you with until the morning, basically. The ball is in your court, essentially. What would you like to do with the rest of your evening?
If there's a storyteller, I'd want to probably go listen to it before bed.
Yeah, that makes sense. He sort of looks at you. He breaks off his.
Well, I'm going to enjoy my.
Sorry. No. Okay.
Go ahead. My sound's off.
Okay. The storyteller has just begun a new story as you wander over to go and see him. It is a story of adventure set before the cataclysm. So how much of it is actually true is anybody's guess. But it's a tale of the glory days of the world, of peace lost, and a world which nobody living really, well, apart from some of the elves, of course, remembers essentially. But as he's barely started his story when you wander over, and he immediately stops and looks you sort of dead in the eye, and says, what does he say? Your eyes tell a story of their own, I think. I see a terrible destiny in them. There is a blue staff, which you must return to Zact Saroth. There, in but a few days hence, you shall face your greatest peril in contest for the greatest gift ever given to man, or Kendo, or dwarf even.
I just turn and go, blue staff again? Does anybody know anything about this blue staff? Last lot were after a blue staff, and he's getting away my potatoes and my ale.
A guy at the table next to you says, shh, don't talk about the staff. These weird hooded men have been in town asking about it. An evil lot they were. I wonder if they were offering a reward. Otik, meanwhile, who's heard the commotion, chips in. I bet it's a magic staff from Darken Woods. Terrible, terrible place, full of mystery and danger. I bet that's the kind of place you'd find a magic staff. Someone else disagrees. Someone else disagrees. Oh no, yeah, no, actually no, someone else agrees. There's a girl at a table nearby who says, it probably was found in Darken Wood. I hear there are ruins there filled with wealth and treasure beyond imagining. and dangers to match. No one has entered that place and ever returned to tell the tale. And the guy she sat with says, well, hang on a second, how do you know about all this treasure if no one's come back to tell the tale? She said, well, you know, everybody knows if no one comes back to tell the tale, there must be treasure. Stands to reason. And an argument breaks out, basically. So an argument has broken out at a table nearby as this couple are arguing about how rumours possibly got out of Darken Wood. Someone else is going, well, they've probably had the stag lead them in and out. I saw him once. I'm just reading all this stuff off the page here. I saw the white stag up near Praye's Eye Peak just a few days ago. They say that anyone who talks with the stag is blessed, so I hear tell.
Blessed.
Talk, you know. Talk.
Nothing ever comes good at white stags. Nothing.
Nothing ever does. That is very true.
I've seen a white stag before. It might be worth it to go find it. It'd be a great story.
Yeah, you would say that, wouldn't you, Taz? You would say that. No, I'm staying here. No danger, no nothing. These old bones are creaking.
My half-sister's message suggested there was danger. Says Racing.
I will follow wherever we are told to go by our half-sister.
Ah, you always do that, Caramel. They always follow in wrestling about. Just stay here, Robert.
I am his rock. I will need to follow wherever my twin goes.
Yada, yada, yada.
We will draw a veil over the night's proceedings at this point, I think. People return to their homes, dusty and in disarray after 5 years unattended. It's probably best that you had food here because there's no food in your homes, I don't imagine. So would have had to have kept for 5 years for a start.
Yeah.
Morning arrives and Solace goes about its business. There is a slight change from what it was 5 years ago. As you wander around town, sort of re-familiarising yourself with what's going on and seeing what's changed and seeing who's here and catching up with the gossip and the news, you will see a number of seekers or people who someone will point out to you as seekers. The seekers are based in Haven, which is a town through the mountain pass. It's about a day and a half's travel from Solace, as long as the weather is fair. They are a set of people who are intent on finding gods. Since the gods deserted Kryn at the time of the Cataclysm, various people are trying to find holy people once more. And the seekers, they are on the lookout for a god to worship, basically. One of them will stop one of you. Let's say they stop. I'm going to talk to Caramon. One of them sort of stops Caramon in the street and says, "You there, you there. I've not seen your face here in Solace before. Tell me, have you heard news of the blue crystal staff?"
Everyone is talking about the staff, but I have not seen it.
You wouldn't lie to me about a thing like that, would you?
No. Why do you want this staff? What use is it?
The hierarchy at Haven have tasked us all to seek it out. We believe it could be the key to stopping the tide of war, which is marching on us from the north. I'm told. I mean, I don't know, to be honest. But that's what they say.
We should try to find this staff, perhaps.
Yeah. What do you think I'm doing? That's why I asked you. Ugh, bloody Solace people. And he sort of stomps off, really not very happy with the way the conversation went. Most particularly because you didn't produce a blue crystal staff from one of your pockets, which, on reflection, probably would have been quite difficult. We need to introduce two new characters at this point. Actually, we need to introduce three, because I forgot to introduce Sturm at some point. He turned up during the night. He's here. He'll sort of say hello, but in a very stern way. So he's not going to go hello. that doesn't. Well met, comrades. I'm disappointed with the way the world is going. He'll probably say something like that, I expect. But he's got
Nailed it.
He's got some very nice armor and a very nice sword, which he didn't have before, I think. He will say, actually, no, brilliant. Oh, you see, I'm so clever. I could be a games master, I tell you. He will sort of say, I have met some strangers on the road. They are camped not far from here. I think you would do well to listen to their tale. Can I take you to them?
Can.
Excellent. I'm delighted to hear it.
I don't know if he was talking to me or
He'll
not.
talk to anybody.
Me and I still go along.
Okay. So he will lead the four. Let's gather the four of you. He will lead the four of you out of town to a small copse of trees, well hidden, actually, not on one of the beaten tracks to the farms, and not a section of the forest that's particularly famous for nuts and berries and stuff like that. So no real reason for people to come here. Only someone like Sturm, who's been local to Solace for long enough, would know the place. And therein you find two young people dressed in the style of the plains folk. One is a woman, one is a man. The woman is beautiful and golden haired. The man is taller even than Caramon. And can I just say this? This is probably not relevant to today's game at all. But as I was listening to the audiobook of Dragons of Autumn Twilight this time, I was struck again by the number of people who keep referring to Caramon as a giant, which is fine, except Riverwind is taller by 6 inches and is never referred to as a giant, as far as I can tell.
It never is.
Which I found odd, but never mind.
Maybe it's a girth thing. Maybe the thinness makes him look shorter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Caramon's wider.
Yeah, that must be it. Giants in Kryn must be particularly famously wide.
Yeah, that's the description of a giant, is wide.
Okay. Sturm says, I found these two on the road. They say their names are Gold Moon and Riverwind. I found them somewhere safe to sleep overnight. They seemed reluctant to actually come into town. Have you heard people asking after this blue crystal staff?
Oh, it comes up again.
I was asked on the road about that yesterday. Or was it this morning?
This morning, today, yesterday, it all blends into one. Gold Moon sort of reaches down beside her and pulls behind the log that she was sitting on. She pulls out this staff, and at first glance, it does look to be a normal wooden staff, but there is something about it which just catches your eye, a glitter. You wouldn't necessarily call it blue crystal, necessarily, but oh, there is a sudden burst of light from it, and in that moment its appearance changes from a rather plain looking wooden staff to something which is absolutely a blue crystal staff. And in this wave of light that flows out of it, all of the wounds that you suffered in the fight with the hobgoblins quite literally, miraculously close. You find that you are fully recovered, not even a scar to show for the nasty hobgoblin blows. Goldman looks as shocked by this turn of events, really, as the rest of you, and she says, "We have been entrusted with this staff, and we seek its nature. We wish to prove that it is an item of the true old gods. Tell me, are the people in Haven to be trusted? Can we take it there?" Riverwind sort of bristles at this and sort of, he doesn't actually contradict Chieftain's daughter at this point, but he's clearly not happy with it as a concept.
I turn to Tanis and go, "Riox, beard, Tanis. This is the thing that's been causing us all this trouble. I don't want anything to do with it. Not at all. It's just going to lead to trouble."
Certainly,
Well,
trouble
yes,
has followed
trouble,
us.
but trouble,
Certainly, trouble has followed us ever since it came into our possession, says Goldmoon, in case you were wondering. that was me doing a Goldmoon voice. It wasn't me doing Sturm. There is in the module at this point, when you meet Goldmoon for the first time, there is in the module Goldmoon's song, including the musical score for it, and it says, if a player character is playing Goldmoon and is able to read music, have them sing this song to you. I might just read the words to you, as she, by way of explanation, she will. If you search on YouTube, by the way, I can't obviously include it in this because copyrights and stuff like that. But if you do search on YouTube, there are a number of people who have recorded this song. If you ever want to listen to it, if you've never heard it, I will. God, it's very long. I'll read a bit of it anyway. The grasslands are endless, and summer sings on, and Goldmoon the princess loves a poor man's son. Her father, the chieftain, makes long roads between them. The grasslands are endless, and summer sings on. The grasslands are waving, the sky's rim is grey. The chieftain sends Riverwind east and away to search for strong magic. At lip of the morning, the grasslands are waving, the sky's rim is grey. O Riverwind, where have you gone? O Riverwind, autumn comes on. I sit by the... That says river. Very bad font. I sit by the river and look on the sunrise, but the sunrise is over the mountains alone. She then goes on for 3 more verses after that, mostly talking about the story of how Riverwind came into possession of this blue staff, and that when he went back to show this great magic that he'd discovered to the chieftain mocked this find and had his people stone Riverwind. Goldmoon went to his help and tried to protect him, but the stoning continued. But there was a flash of light, and Riverwind and Goldmoon were carried far away and have been travelling alone ever since. They are determined, they are convinced this is a relic of the old gods, but they must find a way to communicate its nature, to understand its nature to the world at large, to let people know that it is important. essentially.
Pretty soon. So, I suspect, Alice, you're going to make us follow her, aren't you?
I never make anyone do anything. I just kind of gently guide, and everyone's fine thing. Yes, yes, I am.
You follow for the sob story, and we'll be behind you. All coming. There'll be me, there'll be Taz, there'll be Caramon, and Raceland. And
Raceland, by the way, is busy sort of poking his brother where he was wounded, and he says, I have never seen magic of this nature. This was no trickery. This was true magic. And then he coughs.
You know you want to go. It's going to be fun. Don't miss this opportunity.
I know your idea of fun. No, every time. Charles, no, don't make me do it.
So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share with you the wilderness map of the area around Solace. This is hopefully to show you the places that you can go. But I will be honest, I think mostly what it will do is make you squint at the screen trying to work out what it's showing. Because
squinting commences.
Because say what you like about modern D&D modules. The mapping has gotten a lot better than it once was. Basically, as far as I can tell, you are at Solace, which is near the Blue Blob, which is the lake of Crystalmere Lake. There is a road which runs west through the mountains and then turns south towards Haven, which is almost directly southwest of you, the other side of Darkenwood. Or you could travel south through a mountain pass towards Gateway, and from there on to the plains. But I have to say Riverwind and Goldmoon are not keen on going to the plains on account of that's where they just came from. And there was certainly no help for them there. No way for them to prove the staff is real in that location. So their plan is to go to Haven and hopefully find some wise people there who can help them. But it's up to you whether you think you have a better place for them to go or not. I mean, you had the storytelling.
Well, I would not suggest Qualinesti.
That's a good.
They're cranky, so.
They are cranky. That is very true. Famously so.
They're cranky. Let's avoid them.
I mean, it is. To be honest, Haven is not a bad. I mean, of all the places you've got to go to, if you're looking for someone who might know something, Haven might be your best bet. They are the closest you have to clerics in the modern world, of course, but they aren't imbued with magic. So how much they would know about the Blue Crystal Staff or what to do with it is an open question, really. But where else could you take it? Says Raceland or Sturm or somebody.
What do you think, Tannis? Where do we go?
Well, I'm gonna go to Haven, but of course you guys can make your own minds up. But I think I'll go to Haven.
Okay.
I'll be following you.
For now, I am following the staff, says Raceland.
Yeah, I think we should all stick together because the war is brewing in the north.
Good point.
Very good point. We've got Karen. We've got our meat shield if we stick with Caramon. Very important to have the meat shield.
And I suppose, Jazz, you'll go wherever the trouble is, won't you?
I go where the adventure is. And speaking of Tass, since Tass is famous for pickpocketing, can I take this moment to have a moment of pickpocketing?
Of course you can. I would be mean-spirited to deny it. So again, first edition D&D, very, very strange here. We have much less consistent ways to do things. So in first edition D&D, you have to roll percentile dice to make a pickpocket check. So it's !roll space 1d100.
Okay.
Okay, whose pocket are you trying to pick?
Of course we're going to go with Flint.
That seems entirely reasonable. I have to say, I believe your skill with pickpockets is 45%, something like that, isn't it?
50%.
50%. Oh well, no problem then. Yes, Flint. What little trinket has Taz acquired from your pockets?
He's picked up some dwarven glasses.
Good. Flint's embarrassed by them. He doesn't like to wear them, but he does. Or are they glasses? Or are they glasses?
Spectacles. Some dwarven-made spectacles. Fine, they are, but I wouldn't like to wear them, and nobody's making me wear them because I'm a dwarf, and I'm not admitting to anything.
That's fair. Okay, I'm just checking the time. I want to have one more little combat encounter, so let's cut to a couple of days later on the road. So you had some chance to gather provisions, gather equipment, and leave Solace again. Barely had a chance to get your feet under the table when you're back out on the road again. That is the life of the adventurer, after all. And you're travelling north through the mountain pass.
It's gone somewhere. It's going to be a big surprise.
It's going to be a costume, I think.
It is. I bet you. Nice.
Does that work? Can I hear you through my headphones and the hood? I don't know. Or should I?
Your headset just completes it.
It should probably be my hair.
Yeah.
That's better, isn't it? That's absolutely better.
That works.
A clear mountain valley sprawls about. To the northwest and southeast, thick valnwoods flash yellow and scarred against the bright autumn sky. To the east shimmers the cool blue of Crystalmere Lake. Westward, the valley enters a canyon rimmed by granite cliffs. The valley floor itself continues to the northeast. Some distance away, a group of huddled men pull a large cart slowly west down the road towards Haven. They sway rhythmically. I don't know why it says that, but apparently they do. They sway rhythmically. Coarse, heavy robes completely conceal their features. Of course, if I do that, I can't read the adventure. So they're going to mostly conceal their features in this case. There are seven. Oh no, there are 11 of them, and one of them is actually in the wagon. He's lying bundled up, moaning quietly in the wagon, clearly injured. One of them comes up to you. He's very much kind of hands in his sleeves like that, crossed across his chest, hood pulled low, a scarf across the bottom half of his face. You basically cannot see anything about his features at all. And he says, "Good day to you, travellers. Please pardon the questions of an old cleric. Some days ago, our healing staff was stolen from Saroth. Now, one of our flock is dying, and we desperately need that item to bring our brother back to health. He lies yonder." He can't point because his hands. He lies yonder. I've lost my place. He lies yonder in the back of the cart. Have you heard any word of our blue crystal staff? And I tell you what, this is extremely warm. Anyone offering any suggestions about information about the location of this blue crystal staff?
I know nothing about blue crystal staff.
Those of you who've read the books recently, I'm sure will know exactly what's about to happen at this point.
Yeah.
Because Goldmoon will step forward and say, "If your man is injured, I will do my best for him. I do not." And she holds up this staff as she approaches, and
quite possibly the dumbest thing she ever does.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The dumbest thing she ever does, and huzzah, she's done it in our game as well. And as soon as she holds up this thing, it hasn't even done the blue shimmery effect yet. But they all clearly recognise it. They all recognise what it's supposed to look like, and immediately someone rolls a d6 because it's time to go into initiative mode again. And we're going to finish off today with a fight with these totally normal people who are in some robes and aren't suspicious in any way. Are we going to continue with Tanis rolling initiative as team leader? I think we probably should, shouldn't we? So Tanis, give me a d6 roll, and the innocent clerics met on the road will also do the same.
Oops.
Okay, that happened. What weapons are they using? Oh yeah, okay. So they leap to attack. Having seen the staff, they are all strategy goes from their head. As soon as they see it, it must be theirs. They are commanded to recover it. Some of them go off and fight Sturm. Some of them go off and fight Racelyn. Some of them go off and fight Riverwind and Goldmoon. But essentially, that leaves. I've got 7 of them to fight you for. So 7 of them will be fighting you for, including their leader, who's got like 2 hit points more than the others. It's very exciting for him. So we will commence. And I need to get their attack rolls. Okay. So 7 of them, 4 of you. So that's 1 person who's not getting two attackers. I feel what the person who's not getting attacked this time with 2 people should be one of the people I attacked with 2 people last time. So I think I'm not going to attack Flint with 2 people. I think they're quite literally overlooking Flint and only sending 1 warrior to attack him. So let us.
Thing that a dwarf.
Mind you, the one that is attacking you. It's interesting actually. As my hair has gone completely. I should not wear a hood when I'm doing these things. My hair has gone completely mad. No, I'm not going to spend time fixing it.
No.
So it's fine. I'm just sort of mad, crazy uncle at this point. Hedgehogs. A word was in my mind to say to you. Yes, this thing it moves very awkwardly. It looks like it's not quite moving as comfortably as it should. It looks slower than it should be, but it still manages to cover the ground to you. It still manages to swing its sword, and it still manages to get that sword past your shield. And it will deliver. Okay, not the world's mightiest blow. It is just a nick. He will do 1 point of damage to you, Flint. But the rest of you have got 2 each. So the 2 attacking Caramon. Remember, everybody's on full hit points, courtesy of the blue crystal staff.
Yeah.
You're back to full again. So I'm allowed to hit you again without feeling guilty too much, at least for this round. So Caramon. Oh, that's a miss. And Caramon again. That is a hit. Again, these guys, they are all very much 5 damage, Caramon. They're all their huge, bulky robes are clearly restricting them. They're finding it quite difficult to fight in them, but they're doing their best, all things considered. So there we go. So now 2 against Tasselhoff. That is a hit. I've completely failed to roll the damage there. Oh, yeah, okay. They are being quite successful in hitting. The damaging, not so much. That was 1 damage from him. The second one attacking you. Really hits. Fortunately, in first edition, there are no such thing as critical hits, because if there were, that would have been one. But that was a later addition to an addition. But it's still 8 damage. They're really, really got a hate on for Tasselhoff there. They are not Kenda. They're not Kenda friendly. Yeah, one of them is going.
No, that would hurt a bit.
I had my favourite yo-yo a moment ago. I don't know what's happened to it. Why yo-yo? I've no idea. It was the first word that came into my head. At least it wasn't hedgehog this time. Tanis, the pair double teaming you. One of them leaps towards you and distracts you, but the other one takes advantage of this distraction. And he also does 8 damage to you.
Ouch.
But that is it for their turns, as Sturm, Riverwind, Goldmoon, and Raceland go off and deal with a few more over there. Now it's your turn. So we seem to have adopted this order of me just following my screen. So Flint,
Okay.
you have got a perfectly normal hooded man in front of you, attacking you.
Right, so since you're attacking me, so I'm going to scream with my hand out. I'm going with a 9.
Yeah, that's not going to do it, is it?
No.
No, that's not going to do it. Okay, all right.
And trip.
Poor old Flint.
You looked fearsome, though.
You did look very fearsome. I was quite impressed. I shouldn't be breaking the narrative flow at this point, but one of the really weird things about this module is that the different characters are not balanced. They are clearly built around the idea that Tracy Hickman had of the characters from the novel. So Flint is nowhere near as he's a 4th level fighter.
Yeah.
Caramon is 5 or 6, And it's just, there's just complete imbalance there. It's a very peculiar way of doing things, but there we go. Anyway, sorry, I interrupted my own flow. I'm trying to build drama here, and I'm just wittering. Excellent. Caramon. There are 2 attacking you, so I would correct that if I were you.
Okay.
That is a hit. Because
Nice.
you see again the imbalance of levels here. A 9 from Caramon was a hit, a 9 from Flint was not.
Total miss.
So roll me some damage, please.
Okay.
And some giant-based rippling muscles. Okay. Yes. So you cut down this guy. I mean, it's this one mighty overhead strike here. There's no messing around here. These people have put you and your friends in trouble. You're not messing now. So you have leveled that blow at him. And as you do, a strange thing happens. As the body almost seems to grip your sword. I need you to roll me a d20, please, and get less than your dexterity. I believe your dexterity is higher than 10.
11.
Just okay.
Apparently.
You feel basically the sword almost ripped from your hands, but at the last instant you pull it away as this thing falls over and lands with a solid thud like a statue hitting the ground, not like a dead body. And part of his hood falls away from his face. And you can see this is not a person at all. This is some strange reptilian creature. Very strange. Don't know what it could be. Okay, Taz, your turn.
Okay.
That, Taz, is a mighty blow. Absolutely. Yeah, no question at all. The hoop axe spins. There's the whistling sound that it makes as it goes through the air, and this creature falls to the ground like a rock. Sorry, my words. I'm a writer, have I mentioned there? Like a rock. There we go. That's exactly the kind of the descriptive text that my book's famous for. Right, okay, good. Tanis, there are 2 attacking you, including the boss. So he's got 2 bonus hit points.
Oh joy. Oh joy.
Oh,
You can do it, Tanis.
See. How'd I do?
No, that's not a hit, I'm afraid. Well, I mean, in fairness, actually, I think actually what happens there is you realise that they must have armour or something on underneath their robes, because you actually probably do strike him with that blow, but there is a definite sound of slightly deadened because of the robes, but the sound of sword hitting armour at that point. Fighting over there with Sturm and the rest, excellent. Round 2 of the combat. So we need to roll initiative again, please. This is where you could really do with claiming the first on this one. Beta 3.
Oh, that's me, right?
Yes, please.
Let's see.
Absolutely, it is the heroes of Kryn get their moment. So again, we will just unless anyone desperately wants to go first, we will just go to Flint and his one-on-one duel of honor with this thing here.
I think he needs to redeem himself at this point.
He probably does.
I don't need to redeem myself. So I recovered from my earlier misstep of missing him because he just absolutely dodged my blow.
He absolutely did.
And he missed again.
He absolutely has again done exactly the same.
Let me hit ya!
I'm not sure I see what's in it for me.
What all did you drink at the end?
Well, this was days ago. Whatever he drank must have been fairly potent stuff. He's still feeling the effects now. Caramel, you slew your first opponent. Can you take down your second? That's definitely a hit. Absolutely. 6 damage. It's a mighty blow, but the perfectly normal person does not go down.
What's going on here? These guys just won't die.
Tell me about it!
Nice. I like that. That was good. I enjoyed that. Taz.
See?
That is wow. Who knew the major threat would be the candor? That is absolutely a hit.
Brilliant. This is just doing massacring everybody.
Good lord. Sadly, this one has a lot of hit points. So although that is a mighty blow, the best damage you could do, in fact, it has staggered. You strike it with a hoopak, it staggers back, it falls down, goes down onto one knee, but it's not down. It's not down. It's still there. It's still fighting. Tanis.
Okay, let's see.
I mean, you're in the fight. I mean, that's the important bit. You're there. Let it when tales are told of this battle, let it be said that Tanis was there. Let's move on. Their turn. Still one fighting Flint. But only hits armor class 11, which is not going to cut it. There's one attacking Caramon now. That is a hit. Caramon, you take another 3 damage from this thing. And then it rips off its robes because it's tired of fighting so restricted. And as it does, its true reptilian nature is displayed, and wings that must have been strapped down underneath the robe pop out, and it's hideous. It is a thing of nightmares, and it is out for your blood, but it doesn't get another go yet. So the one attacking, there is still one attacking Taz. This one, dismayed at its injury, leaps forward, up from his one knee, and connects a mighty blow. I think it got down to that level mostly so that it could reach you, because that does 2 damage, and don't you forget it. Tanis still has 2. The first one misses. The second one hits, I believe. What's your armor class? What's your armor class, Tanis?
4.
Yep, that is it. Then. Okay. And you can enjoy 7 damage.
Ooh.
Ouch. I have the 2 damage. Come on.
Right, I think that's that round. So we've got initiative again.
Go on, Dennis.
Oh, it's tied. I think we'll give that to the heroes on a tie. So back to the top, and Flint.
Let's see what we can do this time. He needs to redeem himself.
He does.
He doesn't.
He does. I mean, he needs. He's very much focused on the need.
Not the doing. He knows what he needs to do, but doing it is a different matter. This is just not going the way I planned it.
Good. Moving on. Caramon,
It's
you're
doubly great because the sound on my computer isn't great, so it sounds like he's like auto-tuning that shriek.
yeah,
Fantastic.
The sound qualities. I mean, considering that we are in 3 different countries across multiple different time zones, the whole video thing is going quite well, but it's a little bit flaky every now and then. But, I mean, I'm still having a good time. I hope you guys are too, and I hope the people watching have a good time as well.
Yes.
That was the thing I was asking. Yes, it's Caramon's turn. Yes, please. Caramon, you've got 1 guy left, which I'm not even going to make you roll the damage because he so few hit points left. You can probably kill him by imitating Racelin's cough in his general direction. You trip him with your sword and plunge it in. However, you do have the ongoing issue of the things turning to stone every time you kill them, so I need you to roll me a dexterity roll to avoid getting your sword trapped in the dying creature.
We'll do that.
So that's just a roll of a d20. Clearly wise to the difficulty of the creature turning to stone. You are pulling your sword back even as you slay the creature. It never gets a chance to get a grip on your blade. You are enemy free. So next round you can possibly go and help other people.
I need it. Without you fumbling everything.
Again, breaking immersion once more. Do you know what I was saying earlier about Caramon and Caramon, as they call him on the audiobook version? What particularly confused me is they call draconians Draconians in the audiobook.
Really?
They basically, I think, because it comes from Draco, they've decided that Dre sound is going to continue, and it just every time it says Draconians, it just anyway. Sorry, yes, you were making an attack roll. Please, Tazalov.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. It seems your good run has come to an end. That was not sufficient to take him down. Tanis. Time to imitate the action of a Caramon, not a Flint. And see if you can. But Flint, I mean, you're old friends. You and Flint go way back. Clearly, you've learned a lot from each other there.
Picked up some bad habits.
My bad ways just rub off.
So we're back round to the perfectly normal humans. And the one against Flint. Hits. I'm not keeping track of your hit points, by the way, so I do hope I don't kill you by accident. 3 damage.
Who was that on?
That was a new Flint.
Oh, 3. Flesh wound.
'Tis but a scratch. No one's attacking Caramon, as established, because Caramon made short work of his foes. There is one guy still exchanging blows with Tass, though. So, but not very well on this occasion. The two of you. I mean, one thing that they stress in first edition D&D combat is that an attack roll is not an attack. It represents an exchange of blows. So essentially, the two of you there are very much, there's a whole parrying back and forth thing going on there. You are locked in mortal combat, but neither able to find their way through the defenses of their opponent.
You're doing a super special secret handshake.
It's a very, very special secret handshake. Okay. There are still 2 attacking Tanis, of course. That one hits. That one hits. So you're taking 2 lots of damage this round. And we'll roll them both together to avoid having to type so much. Between the 2 attacks, you take a grand total of... You see, I've just done exactly the same. No, what I've done there is think that I'm in roll 20 and have used an exclamation mark rather than... slash rather than exclamation mark. There we go. Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh jeez.
15 damage, an 8 and a 7.
I am very close to dead. Oh wow.
That's harsh.
That is harsh.
Right?
That's extremely harsh. Goldmoon's going, don't worry, I'll be with you in a moment. My staff's about to glow blue.
Bring the nurse in.
Alrighty. That's us back round to initiative, though. So give us another initiative check, please. Oh, that could be a life-saving roll there, because the heroes are going first.
Oh, thanks.
Hooray!
Right, I'm going to do the equivalent of blowing on my dice for luck.
5th time's the charm.
What is your Thaco?
6.
6 or 16?
Yeah.
Because you've just rolled a 12 there. What's your on the character sheet?
Me, that goes 16.
16. Okay, so that hit armor class 4. That is a hit. That's exactly what you needed to hit. In fact.
Kiss my axe.
Go on then. Let's see some damage. You've got 1 Draconian in front of you. You've finally landed a blow on him.
At last.
But is it going to be enough to take him down? This is the question.
This is the thing, isn't it?
It is.
4.
It is.
Yes.
That one was the lowest hit point of all of them. You've got 2 hand axes. You'll be glad to know. So if this one gets better, in fact, I think we should probably do this because you have a second hand axe available. Just for dramatic purposes, this thing is going to claim your as it dies. It's going to rip the hand axe from your hand. So you have to pull the next one off your belt, ready to take on the next Draconian. But that was a mighty blow. Caramon, you have a choice of foes. You've got a very injured one that is sparring with Taz, and 2 very healthy ones who are busy murdering Tanis. Who would you like to go and attack?
I better go and help Tanis, I think.
I think tactically sound move.
You are my favorite person now.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Brother.
let's have an attack roll, please. Yeah, absolutely, not a problem. That is a mighty blow. Oh, but it's not enough to take him down. This one is one of the stronger ones. You've carved a chunk out of him. He screeches in dismay and pain, but he is still standing. Taz, you and your draconian, just the two of you. The world sort of shrinks down, so it's just the two of you. Everything else goes away. The two of you lock eyes. Now is the moment of fate. I mean, or the next moment could be the moment of fate. It's moments of fate. They're like buses, really. Okay. So Tanis, one of them has been injured by Caramon's attack. We lost Mark. Let's carry on anyway.
Oh, we lost.
You have hit. Are you hitting the one that Caramon injured, or are you hitting the uninjured leader?
Let's go for the injured one.
I think that makes sense.
I might have a better shot at that one.
Oh yeah, that's it. He's down as well. Over in the corner where Sturm and Goldmoon and Riverwind are fighting, they are coming to the end of their fight as well. We just have two of these guys left standing. One dueling in a duel for all ages with Tasselhoff and the leader, who is busy trying to fight his way past Tanis to get to the staff. But it is his go against Tasselhoff. If you're wondering why I keep saying Tasselhoff, I'm just worried Taz and Tanis sound too similar, which is why I keep saying very formally, Tasselhoff. Oh, what's your armor class, Taz?
Is a 5.
Okay. This blow, basically, a moment of panic comes through you as this blow scathes just above your head, and your hand reaches up to check that your top knot is still in place, and it is, so that's all right. Missed by one. And the remaining leader is going to take a blow at Tanis, and in an attempt to get past him and on towards Goldmoon. But that is only armor class 8, which is not enough. So, in the interests of letting my wife get some sleep this evening, this is going to be the last round of combat, so I can stop talking at this volume and she can actually get some sleep. But this is the last round of combat. Let's make it count. So let's do our initiative. First of all, who is going first? Ooh, 3. That's beatable. That's beatable. Ooh, and I beat it. Okay. Can I murder Taz?
Oh, sorry, guys.
Can I murder Tasselhoff? I can.
Blah's got 4 hit points.
I can murder Tasselhoff.
Oh no!
Oh,
Oh,
Down.
6 damage, Taz. 6. And then Tanis. Was that?
no. Jeez, okay.
You still standing? Are you, Taz? You still up? After that 6 damage?
Still alive?
No. Okay. All right.
Points left.
Okay. So
I'm a dead Kender.
the one against Tanis. That is a miss. By the way, I've always played from the very early days of first edition. The sort of widely accepted but not technically normal rule that you don't die until you minus 10 hit points.
Yeah.
In this edition, so you are down, you are out, but you are not dead. You'll be glad to know, and hopefully, as long as you can finish off this last two Draconians, Goldman can come and heal you. Yeah. So, and then we've got one against Tanis. But that is a miss. So, 3 of you, 2 of them. Now is the hour that we draw swords together. Oh, sorry, wrong franchise. Flint.
I'm going to rage across to the one that's at Tasselhoff.
Yep.
Run across with my axe, my remaining axe. Let's see what we can get.
Alrighty.
Oh, hold off. We had a bit of space. 13.
That is going to hit, because we established before that 12 was a miss by 1. So
yeah.
That is a hit. So give me some damage. Oh, in fact, no, don't bother giving me some damage. That one had 1 hit point left. So whatever you roll on your dice, will kill it. So that one is down and
You have avenged him.
You have avenged Az. Okay, Caramon. Caramon, there is one. Stay on the leader. That's the wrong franchise as well. There's one Draconian left. Can you take him down? Actually, I suppose I'm not sure you can, but let's give it a go. Ooh, no, that is not even a hit.
Ooh.
So, Tanis.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Fingers crossed.
That nat 1 is not really going to do the job.
Nope.
However, in the interests of time and sleep and all the rest of it, there are enough of you and enough of them right now that I'm going to call the fight at that point. So basically Sturm and Racelyn and Riverwind all turn up, and the 5 of you gang up on the 1 remaining Draconian, while Goldmoon is busy tapping her blue crystal staff on Tasselhoff, and he also gets back up again, so that's all right. And the leader of these strange creatures is taken down. What are these things? Why are they so interested in the blue staff? And does the blue staff really have something to do with the legendary city of Zaxaroth? You'll have to read Dragons of Autumn Twilight to find out, because that's all the time that we have for our session tonight. Thank you all very much for playing. Did you have fun?
That was so much fun.
That's so much fun.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Good. Sue, how was your first? I know not strictly your first D&D, but your first edition D&D.
First one with people who know what they're doing.
Great stuff. So I think we should finish up with a quick round of where people can find you on the internet. So if you want to share a Twitter handle or a web page or a blog or anything that you want people to be able to find you on, now would be a good time. So Mark, you want to kick us off? Where can people find you on the internet?
Well, you can find me on www.fantasybooknerd.com, and it's really good that I forgot my own website.
That's great. So do check Mark out. You do reviews and stuff over there, right?
I do reviews. There's a couple of interviews on there, but yes, that's mainly reviews at the moment.
Okay. Sue, would you like to tell the internet about where they can find you and what you do when you find them?
Sure, I have a blog and I do reviews and I do a weekly indie author interview. And it's at Sue L. Bazy, which is B-A-V for Victor, E-Y.
I'll put links to everything in the description of the video as well.
WordPress.com.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Tabitha, share where people can find you.
Well, you can find me on Twitter. I am Behind the Pages 1 on Twitter, and my blog is behindthepages.org. It's mostly book reviews, and on Twitter I banter about, of course, books.
Good stuff, excellent. And Jodie, again, Dragonlance Week, thank you for bringing this up. I've had a great deal of fun with the game and a great deal of fun writing my character profile for this as well. Where can people find you and all the good stuff that you do?
Well, you can find me on my blog at www.witty.sarcasticbookclub.home.blog. Just talk, well, obviously, books, because, that's what I do. Or on Twitter at ampersand at Book Club.
Okay, all right.
Where I also...
I don't think that sound came through very well, but I'll put links in the description if people didn't catch it.
Good, because I will not remember I can never remember my Twitter handle, so it's probably better that way.
So there we go. Everybody, if you want to follow these excellent people, check the links in the description, and you'll find them there. So thank you. That's it from me today. And join me on my channel next time when I've got some more, I don't know, whatever it is I do, whatever mad scheme I get in my head next. So I'm Storycast Rob Edwards at Twitter. So yeah, there we go. Bye.